Hello, fourth graders, and welcome to another assignment for ELA. Today, your activity is called Who Is It? You will be reading clues to help you solve questions involving various scatter plots. A scatter plot is a type of plot or diagram using coordinates to display values for typically two variables for a set of data. Here are our goals. Number 1, interpret a scatter plot on each slide. Number 2, match mathematical relationships in words to those shown on a graph. So that will be using the clues written in the words to help you solve the points on our scatter plots. And number 3, make inferences. Remember, making an inference means coming to a conclusion using both evidence and reasoning. So you will use the clues on each slide, as well as your own reasoning skills to help you solve the problems. This is what each slide will look like. You will have a scatter plot marked by 4 points marked A, B, C, and D, as well as a number of clues, excuse me, and a spot to write in your answer. The scatter plot shows along our y-axis, which is right here, number of brothers, and the x-axis is number of sisters. So as we go up the graph, the number of brothers increases, and when we move right, the number of sisters increases as well. So looking at our clues, our first clue says John has more sisters than Frank. So that tells us that John can't have the fewest number of sisters. So he cannot be C. And it also tells us that Frank can't have the most sisters, so he cannot be D. The second clue states that Frank has more brothers than John, but fewer than Ian. So that tells us that Ian and Frank can't be A, and John can't be B. Clue 3 tells us Ian has the most total siblings. So, if we add up the number of brothers and sisters for each point, which one has the greatest total? That must be B, 4 sisters and 3 brothers. 7 siblings total, which is more than anyone else. So Ian must be point B. I'm going to write that right here. So if we know that Ian is B, which is the only point that has more sisters, is further right. So Louis must be, because right here, number 4, Louis has one more sister than Ian. Okay, so this one, so D must be Louis. Right? So that leaves A and C, and John and Frank. Let's go back and reread clue 1. John has more sisters than Frank. Well, between A and C, who has the most sisters? A does. So that means John is A. And C is Frank. Oops, sorry. Now that I've answered all my answers filled in, I always go back to reread the clues to make sure I have them correct. John has more sisters than Frank. So A and C, yes. Frank has more brothers than John. Yep, yes. But fewer than Ian. Yep. Ian has the most total siblings. And Louis has one more sister than Ian. Yes, looks like we got it correct. The rest of the slides will be similar to this one. Good luck.